Hello and welcome, everybody. This is an exciting new show. You might have remembered us from Putting Down Giants. However, this is now called The Boiling Point. I'll be interviewing guests. I'll be having them on the show. They're telling us about, just their things in their lives, their come up. They're also going to be discussing things like what they're doing, with their dreams and how did they pursue through them. So today we have with us no other than the Octave Kluvi. That's my brother-in-law. How you doing, Octave? What's good?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
All right. So you're rocking the neat mod. Okay, I see you. Amen.
Yeah, I got
it. I like it. Yeah, those of you who don't know, Neat Mod is that's their apparel group that they have out. You can search it. We'll drop the links in the description so you can go. You can get hoodies like the one that he's wearing. They got hats, book bags, you name it. Hoodies, workout attire. Check them out. They also got a Putting Down Giants t-shirt on there that was from way back. We don't have a boiling point yet, but there is a Putting Down Giants on there too. So definitely go out and check out Neat Mod if you're looking for some, new apparel that no one else has. And remember, as they say, stay neat. So, all right. So Octave, I got you on the show today. Such an honor to have you on here. You are my first guest on the Boiling Point.
Wow.
The very first guest. And we're going to talk a little bit about you. So from what I know that you are, you're a soccer player. You're trying to get into the I guess they call it the major leagues, or they call it the official league. I don't know what they call it, but you're trying to get into the professional leagues, right? Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, where does dream start, and what is your dream, and how what made you want to go after a soccer career, and tell us where you're at now.
Well, it all started when I was little, back home, Togo in Africa. Back then we were just young, so young and free. Every time we just, out in the streets playing. And every day we're out playing soccer with the neighbors, and we'll have guests from, other neighborhoods, and we'll just be playing pretty much all day. It started when I was 4 years old.
Wow.
Pretty much everybody.
You playing since you were 4?
Yeah, 4 years old.
It started early.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah. Pretty much all my big brothers, they all played. They played, like, I've watched them play when I was growing up, so I think that's where I picked it up. Plus, soccer is still, like, the most popular sport, and back home it's pretty big, so I think this is where I picked it up. And started when I was really, really young, like a baby.
That's what's up. I mean, hey, it all starts young, and I mean, when you honestly, like, if you start playing at that age, like, definitely, like, the skills become like a pro now, definitely, like, I remember, like, watching basketball when I was younger, and I was in my teens, and I was trying to get into it then, and it was so hard because a lot of people I played with, they played from when they were like 4. They've been on basketball leagues like since they were like 4 and 5 and 6, and I've never been in one. So it was that experience that you have, definitely, I think is an awesome experience. And especially with soccer, that's a really huge sport that even now here in the U.S. we're trying to, kind of get our little foot into as well. But so you've been a soccer fan since you were 4. So definitely, any players out there that you wanted to, because everybody, you step into any sport, you always want to patent your game after somebody else's, or somebody you look up to, or you have a dream match. Who's your dream match? Who are you patting your game after?
It's a hard question. Well, there's this. He was a ex-pro. well, not actually live back home together, but um, it was in the same city. You know, the how do you call it? That in that city, the same city, there is a professional team, and he played there, and their stadium was actually like um in the back of a high school. So pretty much after school, we just go and watch the professional team play. You know, practice. Yeah. So there was this one guy that I don't know if you ever heard of him. His name is Emmanuel Adebayor. He's Togolese. He played in France. He played in England. He traveled to. He played all over Europe, pretty much. Yeah, and right now he's stopped playing. I don't know if he confirmed that he retired or not, but yeah, I would say he's the first one that really got my attention. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't really know. I haven't really watched too much of soccer, but like I know like just like the one guy who is, I guess everybody knows here in the U.S. You know, obviously Beckham. You know, everybody knows about Beckham. There was one. I think when I was in school, I don't know if it's true, but there was a guy playing in the league, and he was like the youngest like guy ever. I want to say 13, but I don't know. But he was playing in the league, and he was killing it. Like, and they offered him a contract, and I think that's one of the cool things about soccer compared to like all the other sports like here that we have in America is that here you want to play, you got to go to D League. Most of the time you had to go through high school. You know what I mean? Like you had to play college. Like
right.
No one's looking out in the street courts, so to speak, looking for like players to do it. Like there's a whole big process. So I think it's a lot more discouraging. But just listening to what you're saying with that soccer, it looks like it has a very humble setting where it's like, hey, if you're good, anybody can kind of walk on, is given an opportunity, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And is that how it is now? Like, let's talk about your your pursuit in going to the pros. How's that going? And like, what are the steps?
The steps are pretty hard to climb. I would say that in this sport, you have to know a person. You have to have a connection with somebody who's up there, who knows about the business, who knows about the sport. You gotta pretty much go to every camp you could possibly go to, and make that's where you gotta start, make your connection. Go to college tryouts, like local teams, pretty much everywhere you could possibly go.
So get yourself noticed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Self-exposed. But I would say when I moved here in the States, I found it very, I would say, more difficult to get yourself out there, because the system, first of all, I don't want to say anything bad about the system or anything, I'm not trying to sound bad, but the way I see it,
this is different though.
Yeah, the way I see it is very different, and
yeah,
I get it. I get this, how they set it up, and that's how it is working for them. But it's more challenging. There's a lot of steps that you got to go through before we can even get to the door.
Right.
Yeah, like I said before, you have to make connections and know people at high places. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, it's the same. And so that's funny. So it's kind of like it sounds like in the States it's almost like how we do basketball and football. Like it's that same thing. Like you gotta make yourself known. You got to go to every D1 event there is. Go to all the basketball camps. You know, here, like a lot of the people who are playing today, they all, you know, have video of them being in, you know, in basketball camps. You know, Kobe Bryant's basketball camp, Allen Iverson's, and all this kind of stuff like that. So it's like there's always like a pathway to getting there, and it's like you got to stay in the clique. And I mean, I guess that's how it is in general nowadays in life. Is like you got to have a connect. You know, even when I was doing music shortly, what I realized is that you had to have a connect. You had to keep going to events that had open mic. You know, have to go to those events that said, hey, amateur night, and that's where you had to go. It was a tedious process, but you just had to get yourself put out there to do it. And I didn't have that freedom, so a lot of the times I never, you know, could really make it out to those things like that. So, because I mean, with the normal life schedule and everything else, and then, you know, you hear, oh, there's an event this weekend, but I gotta work. Is my job gonna let me off? Then I need money. You know, oh, there's another event coming up. I don't have the money to go. Oh, there's an amateur battle, or oh, they're looking for a pickup league, and you know, there's gonna be pickup. You know, like, oh, I can't. You know, so it's like, so one of the things I've noticed is that definitely it requires a lot of hard work, and you gotta have that has to almost be your sole desire, so to speak. Is that there's like no room for everything? Does that seem like a correct assessment?
Can you say that again?
Does that sound like a correct statement? Like,
yeah. That's the way it is.
Definitely, yeah, exactly. So right now you're climbing, you're getting there. You know, let's talk about like some of what's some of the roadblocks that you've had to kind of overcome. You know, I know in this also too, there's, you know, it's something that requires a lot of mental strength, a lot of confidence. You probably battle injuries and stuff like that. Tell us about some of those things, because for me, in this show being the boiling point, I think that would be, those are the moments that solidify your why you're doing what you're doing. So, and then that's what the boiling point, you know, that's what we're going to be talking about on the show, is all about those points in our lives where, when it all said and done, this is that defining moment that basically says, hey, look, if you want this dream, you got to fight for it. So tell us some of those moments, those setbacks and the kind of roadblocks you've had to muscle through and get through, you know, on your journey.
Right. So, let me start from the beginning. Before I moved to the States, I was pretty skinny, like, no me on me. Nothing. I was skinny. I was, you know, and my first year of high school, I tried out. It didn't actually go as I expected. It was pretty, how do I say, discouraging. I went, did everything right, did my best, you know, play hard, did everything right, but the head coach was telling me that, oh, I did everything right. I was great, excellent, like everything, you know, good job, you're excellent. And then he hit me with that, but, you know, and I was expecting that, because, you know, I know I did all right, but I don't think everything went great. So I was still holding back, you know. And he hit me with that, but you're skinny. That's what he told me. You're too skinny to play this game. You're too skinny to play this sport. And I was like,
incredible.
Wow. Yeah. I was like, wow. Back home, it was never a question. You're good, you're good. If you can, you know, hold up against you know, your older brothers, you play with them every day, you're good. You know, this is the bottom line. There's nothing about being skinny or, you know, too big, none of that.
And I imagine, like, it's a contact sport, so you're out there making contact. So I would imagine like, how am I too skinny if I'm out there playing with these other rugged guys and I'm holding it down? Like how is that? So I can understand how that would make me feel some type of way too. You know?
Yeah, I mean at that point, I started questioning myself. Like, is he telling the truth? Am I too skinny? Or, I had all these questions going through my mind. Like, okay. And then at some point, before we finished the session, he told me that he only said one thing. He told me about my evaluation and everything, that I did good, I did great and everything, but I was just too skinny. And he told me he couldn't afford getting players like me injured every season. So he told me I either step down to JV, work my butt off, some weight on me, and work my way up to varsity again, or I quit, I stop coming. So those two statements were like, whew, I really love this game. I don't want to just give him the win that I'm too skinny. And the following year, I proved them wrong. Well, not the following year. Actually, that same year, I decided to play JV because I couldn't stay without playing soccer. So I played, and then the end of the season, I had the most assists in the county. And no injury, nothing at all, like no sort of injuries.
I bet he won you now, though, right?
I played every game, played every tournament.
Wow.
Yeah, most assists in the county, and
that's a good feat.
Yeah. That was actually my first roadblock, in my career. And from there, I was just like a main, I was on the main roster every week, playing every game, and it actually boosted my, confidence. And it was discouraging hearing that from somebody who has the power to turn you into something, and from that person to tell you that, oh, too skinny, you can't play the sport, you can't do this, I can't allow it. It was just it was discouraging, so discouraging. So that was actually my first roadblock in my career. And then after that, it was that main statement that he said that I was skinny followed me even till this day. People still tell me that I'm too skinny, but it doesn't affect me like how it did back then, right? Because I'm used to it now, and I know my body, and I know how to use my body,
right.
And I still hear it. People who don't know me, or people that never see me before, they say it. I won't hear it directly from them, but I'll hear it somewhere else. Oh, this guy, he's good, but he got to put a little meat on himself, stuff like that. So, but I'm used to that. And
you're proving them wrong now, I bet, huh?
Right. I always try to, turn those negatives into positive and do great, And and I feel like, don't get me wrong, I tried all these years. I've been trying to put on weight and try different things to, change my nutrition and everything. Protein shakes, protein bars every day. I've tried everything, but I think it's just the way I am.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. Look, I've known some people, they can eat like crazy. They never gain an ounce of weight, and
right.
It's funny because then they'll be me. I'm sitting here and I'll just have like one little thing, and I feel like I put on like 10 pounds, and I'm like, oh man, like what? You know what I mean? I always find that so funny, but the good thing is that like the story of overcoming that is powerful, and there's people who have done that even like in the NBA, like Muggsy Bogues. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he was like 5 foot couple inches, He played in the NBA. He broke that barrier because, you know, you think about the NBA, the pros, you think about people 6 foot, 7 foot. So this little guy, you think he's gonna get clobbered? No, this guy was amazing in his years in the NBA. So, you know, that's just another story, just like yours. How, you know, people, you know, sometimes people will look at you, and in their head, you know, they'll determine based on what they see the outcome, but then you looked within yourself and you determined that outcome, and you said, no, that's not my reality. You know, I know what my reality is, and you overcame that, and that's really powerful. And I really hope that, you know, there's some young kids out there who feel like, you know, their weight or something, or is a roadblock for them playing a sport. I really hope that they hear that coming from you, and just knowing how you proved them wrong. And you know, I never played on any teams like that, but you know, when I used to play basketball a lot with some of my friends and everything like that, that reminds me of you know, I used to guard people, and the thing they used to smile a lot, and I guess it was because for a guy of my size, and they were kind of a little smaller, they figured, okay, we're gonna run circles around him, this is gonna be easy. I used to hear people say, oh, hey, give me the ball, easy buckets, and it's like, man, there was a fire that rose up inside of me every time. Like, nope, I'm gonna make you work for it, and I did. And there were some games where people would look at me and be like, yo, man, hey, man, nah, bro, good game, bro, you made me work for it. Like, nah, man, that was a good game. Like, I earned a lot of respect out there, and I think that was one of the greatest feelings in the world is breaking that barrier, is when you're able to do things that they don't expect coming from you. And especially, I like it because, in a sense, I call it, you can play possum the whole game, you know, and it's just so fun because when you're playing possum, it's like nobody expects that from you. So when you hit the switch and you go into like the 5th gear on them, they're like, yo, they don't know where it came from because they're not expecting it from you. So, you know, I can only imagine, like, you know, how many games you're probably playing, and you know, people thought, okay, he ain't rugged, and it's like, you know, you were out there like letting them know, like, nah, man, like I'm true to the sport, you know. So that's so awesome, man. That's a really great story, you know. It's a really great story. And then you said you also had some injuries, I think you were about to say.
Yeah. There's this where you're gonna have to deal with injuries sooner or later. At some point, you're gonna have to deal with injuries, and they come and, you know, they go. There's some might not be, you know, temporary, but most of them are just like that. They come and they go, but it's just the mentality to want more, to keep doing what you love doing, and, you know, to keep pushing, and that will get you through it. That's pretty much it. Like, injuries happen, not just in soccer, but any sport. But you just gotta, you know, get yourself up, you know, and get going again.
yeah, you're right. You know, this healing process, and just keep going. You know, sometimes there's injuries. I heard that sometimes injuries are more mental injuries than physical injuries, because it's a mental battle of, will I be able to get back the way I was? Right. And it's like that uphill battle again, getting back to that level that you were at, you know?
Right. And it sucks to be on the sideline, just, you know, not being able to play or move or even run. You know, it sucks to feel that way, but you gotta, you know, make peace with it, that it comes with a price. You play the game, you could get hurt, you could suffer, you know, but it's not the end. You just gotta keep going.
Amen to that. Amen to that. That's the truth, man. That is the truth, and I like that too. You know, it's not just like any other setbacks in life. We just can't think that that's the end. We just gotta keep pushing forward and just saying, hey, you know what, I got this. You know, and sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast. you know. But sometimes take a couple steps. Sometimes it's going to take a whole lap. But we get back, you know. That is, especially in sports, you know, you have to train yourself to get back. Like you can't be concerned about, you know, about the other stuff, the other factors of it, or not being able to compete at that level. You really do got to just tell yourself, no, I just got to just get back. Like, just get back. Like, you know, the minute you begin to kind of dive in your thoughts is a minute where you're missing out on a lot of other stuff. It's like these trainers of basketball, and when you're in the game and your shots are not falling, the minute you're taken to get angry at yourself and you're looking in the air like, you know, what's going on? How come nothing's falling? The man you were guarding just went and he just scored a bucket and he's coming back. So it's like for every time you're not focused, the team is winning. You know? So it's like you almost can't afford for that to happen. You know, especially too with injuries, you know, because your team is looking for you to come back and just be explosive, you know, be the same you. And you know, it's like you can't afford to let them down too as well, you know.
Right.
That's what's up. So where are you right now on your journey to going to the pros? What's your current journey where you're at right now?
At the moment, I'm at a semi-pro level. I've had a couple trials, you know, a couple days back, a couple months back. Professional trials. Yeah,
Nice.
I've done a couple. Pretty much, I've been to IMG Academy. I've played with a team from Europe that came looking for players for a tournament.
Wow.
Teams from out of state. Yeah, I've been pretty much everywhere. And yeah, but right now I'm still at the semi-pro level, and just trying to get my foot out the door in the professional world.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, dude. I mean, that's big, right? The kid who they said was what, too skinny, and now you're semi-pro. That's huge.
Right.
That's really huge. You know, there's a lot of people that they strive that they don't even semi. That's like right there. You know, that, you know, and that's really cool. That's really, really cool, and I think that's something that young people also can really learn from. Like you have, and even for your age, you have a wealth of knowledge that, like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of young players that they could take from that. Is teaching in your future or coaching? You ever think about doing that sometime?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always gonna have a love for the sport, and you know, not being able to play is the last thing on my mind. You know? I want to be like a year-old player, playing with my cane on the field, you know. But yeah, I've considered it that I should, you know, before my career ends, I should get my coaching license, and you know, the sooner the better, you know.
Right.
Then I should have that, and you know, mainly just be part of the game, you know.
Yeah.
5 days.
That's what's up. You know, and so I know that we just talked about the coaching and teaching. We kind of jumped a whole lot, because we went from like semi-pros to like jumping into coaching and younger people. But what is your main goal? Like when you get to the pros, then what? Like what's the end game? Like what's that? At what point do you get there and you're like, this is it. This is it right here. Like this is the moment. This is what everything I fought through for this moment right here. What's that moment look like for you? Or what is that end game? What's your why?
It's a hard one. You know, like I said, I've always have, you know, love for the sport, for the game, and it is something so dear that I cannot live without. Like, I don't know how to explain it, like put into words, but I need to get there. Like I know I can, and you know, with everything that I've been through till now, it's getting clearer that like it's possible. I just gotta be more confident and just keep telling myself that hey, my day's coming, and once I get there, the work is not done. I gotta maintain it,
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that's the end game for me because the maintenance, like to maintain, my long dream, like the dream that I've been dreaming since I was 4, to maintain that, throughout my whole, career and pretty much the rest of my days. Like it's everything, there's no word for it.
No, and that's passion though. I mean, that's I think, and there's not really a correct or incorrect answer. That's perfect. That's your heart speaking right there. You need to get there. You want to be in that moment, and that's what it's all about. It's reaching that. It's that's beautiful. That shows that you really do have a love of the game. I mean, and most people probably would say, oh, well, I want to become this consecutive this, and I want to get this, or I want to stand here in this stadium and do this, and sometimes those are good, but the perspective is kind of lost in translation there, because you're kind of talking more so about the accolades. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, like you can get those and still feel like, I got all my awards now. So what do? Do you just stop playing hard now that you got the accolades? But I love the way you put it, because you said something very important. When you get there, you have to maintain it. A lot of people don't realize that when you are chasing for a dream, or you're searching for something that you want, that you have to maintain it. You have to maintain it. You have to keep putting into it. You have to make sure its longevity is there. You know what I mean? Because I've seen some people in some sports win championships, and after they win championships, it's like that's it. The intensity is like they lose that I guess you would say that instinct, that killer instinct, like that hunger, and sometimes you see it in the playoffs, and you'll hear the commentators, you're like, man, this is a complete different team that went to the finals last year. They were hungry, but now they got it, and they're not hungry this year. They don't want it, So you're right. You have to maintain it. And I think that at the end of the day, that's more beautiful than all the accolades. Like just being there and enjoying that moment. If LeBron James, once said something, and he was talking about, he was like, he just wants to play ball just because he loves to play the game, and not because he's chasing accolades to prove to other people anything. And love him or hate him, dude has huge accolades. But when he made that statement about, I just want to play the game just because I love it, to me, that was a secret to longevity. That is, I mean, there's and you may know him, you may not, but there's basketball players like Vince Carter, who recently just retired, and look how long he was playing in the league. He saw 4 different generations of stars come. Right. Just awesome stories like that. But these are people that they truly love the game. It wasn't about the rings and all that. They just loved the game of basketball. So even though he didn't get his ring, he was still playing, and he was okay with playing on all these other different teams. He didn't care, because you know what? I'm here. That's what matters. Anderson Silva, in the world of MMA, boxing, love that guy. He basically says, yo, I love the fight. Championships don't matter. It's not about that for me. He says, I love the game. He says, I love it. I love to be out here, especially with these new guys, and teach them. Right. So I think anybody in the sports industry who has that mindset of, I love what I do, you're bound for greatness, because what that tells me is that, you know, awards are not going to change your love, you know,
Right.
or if you're doing poorly, it's not going to change. If you're there because you love it, you're always going to be putting out your best, you know,
Right.
even if it isn't awarded, but you're always going to be putting out your best, you know. I mean, that goes into life in general. If we love our jobs, we'll put amazing 110% into it. If we don't, you know, we may not. But
Yeah,
so I
definitely.
think that's awesome what you said. That was a perfect answer, actually. So yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
So that's what's up. So out of, and this has been like an amazing conversation. Just learning about that, and what does it mean to you? Because I know being from Togo, being from Africa, what does it mean? Does that also carry something to going there? Also, going to the pros, is it also about putting them on the map also, and repping where you're from? Does that have a part to do with it too?
Definitely. Well, back home, you know, I was a kid, but when you're doing something like this, and you obviously you wanna make sure you know you're out there. People know you. People know who you are. You know, and what you do. Obviously, you want that from, you know, coming from a small country like that. But yeah, definitely. I've always said that when I make it, and actually my dad asked me this question, because I have two nationalities. You know, I'm a citizen of, you know, in the U.S., and I'm also a citizen of, you know, Togo. So he asked me, like, at that before that time I never thought about it like that, but now he asked me that question, and I'm like, He asked me, so when you say you gonna play, okay, that's cool. When you make it and you have two nationalities, who you gonna play for? It took me a minute to answer that, and I gotta think about every little detail playing on both sides. You know, it would be great to represent America, you know, the U.S. But me personally, the U.S. national team, they have a lot of resources. They have a lot of players. They have like 10 times more than what, you know, countries in Africa have. You know, and it's something that I don't know how to explain it. It's obviously it will be so nice. It will be an honor to play for either side. But me coming from the heart, I would love to play for my, you know, home country, and that will be one of the greatest, you know, accomplishment ever. Like, I know
awesome.
There's a lot of players back home that done that, like the one I mentioned, you know, earlier this, you know, in this conversation, Emmanuel Debayor. He was all over Europe. He's known for, you know, how great he was, you know, back in his days. And yeah, there also, you know, there's pretty much like 50% of the national team in France right now in the top tier league, Ligue 1. There are a lot of players. There's a lot of players everywhere, but I would choose to play for my home national team, which is Togo. Yeah,
that is what's up, and that, you know, that's important. You know, culture is very important, and as we live in a world that is becoming more culture diverse, and people are learning about our cultures and what makes us unique, I think that that's important. And it's funny because. And I'm telling a lot of stories about NBA because I don't know too much of the soccer, but so I just kind of talk about the NBA. But that reminds me of a couple years back for the Olympics. There were players who played in the NBA who didn't want to play for Team USA. They wanted to play for their country, and you know, some people had some things about it, and they just put out statements making it very clear, like, this is, you know, hey, listen, I'm always gonna love where I'm at now, but this is where it all started. And I think it took some people saying, listen, you don't understand, like, you don't understand what it took for us to get where we're at now. Like, I want to give those kids dreams, and I want to let them know that, hey, I came out that same spot where you were. And I think it was an awesome thing. And you know, that for the Olympics, they had the prestige honor of putting on that jersey playing for them. You know, and the fact that they were given that honor too, you know, and that the you know, Team USA was okay with that. And I think now they let players, they don't mind. You know, before it was kind of a back in those days, but now it's they're free with that. They understand. And I think that it's very important. I remember, you know, me being, of course, coming, you know, having, you know, Jamaican roots and having Jamaican bloodline, so to speak. I know the way I felt when I saw Usain Bolt out there, you know, and you know, I remember one year in the track and field division where it was nothing but Jamaican flags in number 1, 2, and 3, and I'm just like, yo, we are putting it on the map. Like, even the other day I looked and there was a couple MMA fighters who were Jamaican, and I'm like, yo, that's a Jamaican flag. Like, what? And it isn't an awesome feeling when you see somebody represent that, you know, saying, hey, I came from here and I'm a champion now. One of the greatest pictures I love to this very day is a UFC where they had the 3 pictures. They had the 3 champions, all from Africa, and they're all represented, and at the same time. And I looked at that picture and I was like, that is beautiful. That's crazy, because they are putting it on the map. Like, that is just so awesome. And that's the reason why I brought up that question too, because I know you definitely felt good, you know, seeing that too, and like seeing that, yo, they're repping, you know.
For so long.
Right? Yeah. it does something to you, man. Like, you know, and to see, you know, Israel and, you know, Usman and all that, I'm just like, yo, that's so awesome. Like, you know, and it's just like, you know, the sports genres, you're seeing more of that coming up. But the thing I like about it most is that it's giving that hope, you know. You know, I'm a big wrestling fan, so, you know, I'm into the WWE. So Bobby Lashley recently won the championship, and you know, people were, you know, from wrestling fans, or, you know, you can talk about it, whatever, should he have won, there's all that. Then when I really looked at what it represented, I was like, wait a second, we have another black champion. Like, out of all the champions, we have another one represented. And I seen this picture of him, Kofi Kingston, you know, and The Rock, and it was just like represented, and I was like, yo, that is the truth. That is the truth right there, and it means a lot. And even Kofi, when he won the title, he went to Ghana, because that's where he's from, and he talked about how important it was that these kids saw somebody who looked like him, who was champion. He was like, just imagine, I went to Ghana and I visit some of these villages, and I'm like, I'm going there as WWE champion. So I asked that question because I know that, like, hearing your passion, your love, I know that that's got to be in there too. It's like that love and bringing it back home, you know, and just saying, hey, listen, like, you know, I can see you standing on the sidelines, like, watching a pickup game, and them not even knowing who you are and playing with them, and then one day they're like, oh wow, we just played oh no, he's a professional, he won this championship. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that joy of like, hey, this is kind of cool, you know what I mean? Like, it's bringing that royalty back where it belongs, you know.
Definitely.
So that's what's up. All right, well, man, this has been and awesome. Is there anything you'd like to add? This has been such an awesome conversation. Is there anything you'd like to add? Any advice you want to give our listeners out there? Anything you want to say? You got any upcoming events or anything where you can kind of give a shout out? This is your time to kind of inspire and then also give a shout out. To any things you got going on, any games you got, or anywhere people can look up your play and stuff like that. After this interview, I'm going to splice in some of your play video with it too, so we can see it and whatnot. So we'll see that in the final edit. But any advice, any inspiration you want to leave?
Pretty much everybody knows what it takes to be great, to get there, to make it. That's the main question. And not everybody knows, the way or the steps you gotta climb to get there. And that's what differentiates, being great and being good, And I would say, what you want to do, you love what you're doing, just keep working. And, like me personally, this just happened recently. I've been, meeting some old friends back in the day where we played, and they always, every one of them always tell me that, hey, you still playing, you still balling, you still going hard. Like, look at us, we're done, we're not playing anymore, but you still going at it. Like, dude, there's something about you, man. Just keep going, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. They see all my videos, like, I always try to put some footage, out there for people to see. Hey, I'm still in the game, I'm still going at it,
Nice.
Those stuff like that. People somebody actually looked up one of my videos that I recently posted, and like, dude, it's been so long that I've seen you. Like, this was, way back in high school, and he was like, dude, you still grinding. I see you. Like, don't think you don't see you. People, they see you, but they won't say anything. They won't talk. But yeah, I know we all see you. Like, dude, just keep going at it. And that's what motivates me, to see people who, I came up with playing, and they're not playing anymore, but I'm still going at it. And from them to tell me that, dude, just keep doing it, just keep doing it. That motivates me, and it makes me pretty much want to bring them with me. Everybody who motivates me, I want to bring them in spirit with me to be able to get there, and that's pretty much it. I just do my thing.
Hey, man, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that is beautiful, man. And that's really beautiful. And that's what the show is about. That's why I changed direction originally with the podcast, and that's the reason why I wanted to do this podcast, because even just talking to you about all this today, I learned so much, and it's been truly a great honor. And I'm just like, wow, I'm inspired. You're inspiring me. I'm like, man, I'm taking notes. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to do. Like, I'm all the guests, and I see you working, and I know soccer's been the main thing, and I definitely just wanted to give you a little time, in the spotlight where you can shine a little bit. If you want, you can always put your social media out there, let people watch your videos. This channel was all about promoting you and making sure people know about you, and making sure that they know that, hey, listen, he's coming, if not here already. So man, that's really awesome. Just one last thing too. What are some of the, you touched on it, like the difference between the great and to being good. What are some of the I guess I would say, because I love your mindset and I love the way you think, and I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice. You know, how does what do you do in terms of meditation or relaxation, your rest days? Like, what do you do to keep that mindset alive and not infiltrated? Because I think that's like the hardest thing for us all when we're trying to go after something. Like, your mindset in keeping motivated and not listening to their voices. What are some things that you do to kind of keep that mindset alive?
I would say earlier in my career, I tried to listen to everybody's opinion, and it's not always bad that, you know, you hear what other people have to say. You know, you can pick some good, you know, stuff out of what they say,
right?
And it's not always good. You know, there's always criticism, and you know, but yeah. But early in my career, I tried so many times to listen to people, you know, what they're thinking, what they're saying. You know, try always to stay humble. But currently in my career, I try to stay, you know, tunnel vision. Like, I know what my goal is. I know where I'm going. I know what I got to do to get there. Yeah, it's all about tunnel vision. And as for, you know, my off days, meditation is not my strongest suit. I would say I'll always go back to my old videos and just go through them. Like today, I posted a video about a game that I had last week, and I've watched it like 20 times. Yeah. That's how I get through my, you know, my off days. Just look back at what I've done in the past and try to pick, you know, little small details and what I can, you know, tweak and make myself better. And or either my videos, or I go on YouTube, I watch, you know, certain players, like professionals, and I just watch videos and study the game. Like, there's no time in this sport that you're gonna tell yourself, oh, I learned everything, I studied everything, I know everything. No, you always gonna be learning. You always gonna be studying, you know. And also I listen to music a lot.
Music is key.
Music gotta be there. If it's not,
I hear that.
I don't know. I don't like listening to my own thoughts, so I try to listen to music. And my genre music, I listen to everything. I listen to all genre, as long as the message is good and, you know, something that will tell me that, dude, this will help you, you know, get more motivated to do what you gotta do, you know.
Right.
I listen to all genre, and it depends on the mood. But when I'm in that zone, I don't like anything too aggressive. I don't like anything too soft. Somewhere in the middle, just to be like, okay, you're calm, you know.
Right.
Just prepare yourself. It's all about preparation for the next game, for the next training, for the next tryout, for the next trip. You know, I'm always preparing myself every day, and no matter if it's on the field or off the field, I'm always in preparation. It's like I have a screen, you know, in the back of my mind that, hey, you're always gonna be looking forward, but there's something, you know, in the back that you gotta, you know, remind yourself about, you know, remind you the reason why you're doing this, right. You know. And yeah, meditation, and you know, recently, well, not recently, but for a while now, I've changed my diet, my nutrition. I've become vegan, and I watch a documentary on Netflix. I know people gonna say, "Oh, not everything on the TV is true," but I did my own research, and it's not that I don't like people who eat meat or eat dairy. Or I don't. It's not that. It's not that. It's my choice, and I'm trying to eat cleaner, you know. And it has, so far, it has helped me a lot.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it has helped me a lot. And there's this one thing that I try to get it every day. It's called matcha tea. This green looking tea, yeah. But that specific tea, I've read something online about how it generates more energy, you know, more than coffee, like 4 times more.
You got my interest. You gotta text that to me. Okay, I'm on board.
You know, it will help you, you know, sleep better. I mean, it's not that I drink it all the time, like every second of the day, no. But
is it a cold beverage or is it like a hot?
You can either have it cold or hot. But I like it cold.
Okay, so it's definitely something you boil. So it's not like like kombucha, like where they have it. It's not fizzled. So it's actually something that's boiled and.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's actually, the matcha is actually a powder, which is green, matcha.
Okay.
And yeah.
Man, you got to hook me up with some.
Definitely. Man. I usually get it blended, and it works for me. Like I've seen the changes, you know, switching, because, you know, after high school when I started working, I was playing soccer full time, going to school full time, and the only thing that used to get me through was coffee. I used to drink coffee, and I haven't drank coffee in so long now, over a year or 2, I think. I don't remember the exact time, but
you know, oddly enough, I'm not a coffee person either myself. So I hear you on that.
Yeah. So after the article that I read was, you know, after I changed my diet, I started eating clearly, you know, clean. I mean, it was after, but then I had to, like, you know, sit down and just match or compare how I was before and how I am now. I'm a lot better now. Like, that this diet, this vegan diet or nutrition, whatever you want to call it, it has helped me, you know, as an athlete and as a human being, you know.
Nice.
Definitely, yeah.
That's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, the vegan lifestyle is, there are a lot of questions about it, but oddly enough, there are a lot of athletes that are really great athletes that are on it. We talked about Anderson Silva. He's on that diet. You know, a lot of fighters, they call it a fighter. It's a fighter's diet, you know. And a lot of people in the UFC, like the good fighters, they're doing it. And it's funny because they even talked about, and I know the video you saw, I don't know if they mentioned it. I don't know if it was in that video that they mentioned it, but they talked about one of the fights that even Conor McGregor lost. And they were talking about.
Yeah, it was actually in it. Yeah,
that was it. Okay, I knew it was somewhere. I didn't know where it was.
He ate like a certain amount of pound of steak the night before the fight, and Diaz was eating vegetables, and
that was it. Yeah, Nate Diaz, and that was just blowing my mind, because I'm like, you know, I remember that fight. I'm like, yo, he just kept going.
I remember too.
He was just going, like Nate Diaz has had energy for days, and they talk about that in fighting. If you get gas, it's a wrap. So the fact that he was on that diet and they drew up that comparison was like, that was jaw dropping for me. I mean, you know me, man. I tried it for a little bit, but I was like, I couldn't hang. But eventually, when I get back to it, it's something I probably want to take up. You know, when I fully get back and stuff like that, back in my routines, and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely, that's something I want to take up again, because I definitely do believe in that documentary. So I believe in it. Like, what was it called? Was it Raising the Bar? I think.
No, it's.
I keep saying Raising the Bar, but
I forget the name. Forgot the name.
I thought it was Raising the Bar, but yeah, it's on. But yeah, so everybody listening, it's on Netflix. It's just look up the documentaries about eating right, and it was an amazing. There was some stuff in there that make you really think. You know, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. But yeah, that's what's up. And I never I've never liked coffee either myself. I've always been a tea guy, and it's funny because the boiling point, like our opening video, is a kettle pouring tea, and on every episode I'm supposed to be drinking some kind of tea, and I didn't get my tea today, but mint tea is my favorite, definitely. For my other episodes, I'm be trying out some other teas and see how they are. So maybe next episode, I'll probably be, I'm gonna try your tea and see how it tastes. But mint tea has always been my go-to from when I was little. I don't know why, but it's just like I just love mint tea. Like I just, that. And ginger is good. I like ginger too, but mint is the truth. There's something about mint tea that just does it for me, So I like that though.
I feel you. Yeah. Yeah.
I know, right? Well, hey.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about it right now.
I know, right? Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
We started talking about tea, and it's like your mind starts going. Well, I'm not gonna keep you, man. We're gonna, it's been an awesome pleasure. I'm gonna let you go get some tea.
Thank you.
It's been a thank you for agreeing to come on the show, and I hope this video helps you in your pursuits. People get to know who Octave Kluvi is, and they know your story, and they know your why. Who knows, maybe one of these places you go to, to try out for, maybe when they look at this video, maybe it'll be something inspiring, and, who knows, maybe it may help get you in the door, and that's my hope. That's my hope, and that's my prayer, is that these interviews that I do with people, that they really help you get to where you're going, and that because we did this video, somebody will see it, and somebody will say, hey, we got to get this kid in here. We got to talk to him. So, absolutely, man. But it has been an absolute pleasure. Definitely, I'll have to have on the show again. So keep a lookout. We'll hit you up again.
Yeah.
Ironically, I have a cousin in England who plays professionally, and I've never met him. So I gotta talk to him. I gotta see if I can get him on the show one day, and maybe I'll have you in there too, man. We'll talk about it.
That would be good.
That'd be cool. Yeah. You might even know him, be like, oh wow, I didn't even know. But he's like, it's funny. My mom told me the other day. She was like, this is my so and so. Like, he plays professional soccer. He's in the professional league. I'm like, oh okay. Like, I didn't even know he had a cousin in the professional league. So that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for coming out today. Thank you for coming to the boiling point. We appreciate you. Oh, no doubt. Definitely. Any last words, any shout outs you want to give before you head on out? Anything you want to tell us?
I want to say one thing. After all that I said, none of that will be possible if I don't have faith in the man above, and this one crucial thing that a person needs to have, like faith and believe that God is there, and without him none of this will be happening right now. Like I've been through injuries, I've been through roadblocks, and prayer is always that one resort that you always gotta have, in your corner.
Amen.
And I just want to put that out there.
I
But
firmly agree with that.
you can follow me on Instagram, Octavino, OCTAVINHO _ that's Instagram. I'm not really on Facebook, but the Kluvi, Snapchat. I've been a ghost for a minute now, but it's at Octave _22, and also go follow Neat Mod page on either Facebook or Instagram.
I want that hoodie. That's dope.
Yeah, at Neat _mod or Neat Mod. Just put in search bar.
I like that. And I'm gonna post these links too. I'm gonna make sure I got a page set up.
Yeah, so, and special shout out to Boiling Point, and thanks for having me on the show. Hopefully, we do another one.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I enjoyed it a lot. I've been sitting here looking at the clock the whole time. I was like, please don't cut off. Please don't cut off. Please don't. Because Zoom likes to cut you at a certain hour, and I'm like, please don't cut off. Please don't cut off. But it's been really awesome. It's been really awesome, and definitely a pleasure having you. We'll get you links there. Also, too, just to end off, and of course, this is I'm a faith-based person, so I firmly believe in the power of prayer, and that's all. If I were to end it with anything, I would you ended it perfectly, and prayer is that thing that helps us through those boiling points. The slogan that I came up with was awake, pray, conquer, repeat, and that's the lifestyle. You wake up every day, you look at your challenges, you pray about them, and then you go to war, you conquer them, and then it's just repeating it. That's it. And I think you've been a great example of that. And I encourage you, young man, to keep going, keep pushing.
Thank you.
And you're gonna have a lot of people in your corner already. And when you get there and you sign that contract, we're gonna do this interview again, and we're gonna remember this interview, and we're gonna go back and say, so hold up, just last year we had this interview, so now we gotta have you on the show again. Tell us about what's going on, who you signed with, So yeah, we're gonna do it again, brother.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, brother. Well, we are signing off. This is The Boiling Point. Nathan Millwood just signing off. Thank you all for listening today. There'll be links in the comments. You can also check us on anchorfm.com. That's where you can check out other interviews. If you like this interview today, give us a like, give us a shout out, leave some comments, check out Octave's post. If there was something that really inspired you, leave us a comment. Tell us, tell him, most importantly, tell him how it inspired you. I'm pretty sure he would love to hear that, and just love to hear how his story touched somebody's heart. And as always, we're here for you, we're here to support. I got another 7 guests lined up who have that same caliber of story, who we're going to be talking to coming up. So I hope that you stay tuned. And as always, we all know the motto, but it's don't quit, but keep fighting. God bless you, and thanks for tuning in.